Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, weather beaten, tired, worn, thin, darling, but I am here with a quick, really, seriously, super quick review for Married to Medicine. I missed last week. On purpose. I just couldn't get into it. I just could not force myself to watch it, to focus on it. Nada. And this week's episode was a lot better, so I thought I would kind of try to tie them all in, kind of, sort of. Like, not a whole lot happened last week, with the exception of the second biggest grudge holder on the episode, which is Toya, still trying to hold Buffy's, whatever her name is, feet to the fire about something that a guest did at her party. And Toya didn't feel like her outrage was great enough. But anyway, Toya has a birthday party, and the birthday party is a sip and paint, and it has live models, male models, and the girls are doing the usual thing. Y'all, if y'all ever been to any of these all girls functions, I detest them. I have grown so weary of them. I just, might be one of the reasons why I didn't want to look at it, because I'm like, I'd have been to so many sip and paint birthday parties. Like, I would love to go to an actual party where there were single available straight males there. You hardly ever have those functions. Usually, I don't care if it's a church function or no work function, is usually full of single women. And unless you into that type of thing, I mean, it gets old real fast. Anywho, so there was some things that went on, some ogling, some eyeballing, some off cuff, remarks. You know how it is. I mean, anytime a naked penis or vagina or chest or anything shows up, people have something to say. They cover their eyes, they become juvenile and all of this type of things. This function was no different. The ladies held it together pretty well. I mean, Heavenly did get a little bit extra, but Heavenly has always been extra, and she's always been very sexualized. She has a lot of sexual conversation, sometimes out of the blue, unwarranted, out of context. So it's no wonder that she was enjoying herself, but she was trying to be slick with it. Not because I think she didn't want to offend Damon, her husband, but I think she don't want him out here doing some of the same things that she is out here doing, looking at. So anyway, this episode, last episode ends with that function. And this episode, we get to see where the guys have had a discussion about it, and they feel a type of way about it. And y'all know Mariah sent her husband a picture, and he told all the other husbands. And so now Damon is talking with Heavenly about what happened at this sip and paint, right? Oh, buddy, they say you was down there with the strippers, buddy. Daddy, I don't know what you talking. Buddy, why you didn't tell me that you was down there with naked men, buddy? Daddy, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I didn't have time to tell you. Normally when you come home and you so tired, we just have sex and you just go to bed. He was like, "Ooh." Oh, why you remembering what he forgot? Y'all know y'all gonna earn this check. Y'all have talked about what he need to do to make sure you stay on this show and continue to get these checks. Like, yeah, okay. He was like, what I'm saying is, buddy, you wouldn't like it if I did that and I didn't tell you. You wouldn't like it if I was out there with naked. Well, Daddy, I mean, and he was like, "Buddy, I don't know, buddy. I don't know. I don't like how you girls be keeping secrets." I was like, ugh, so gross. So gross. Anyway, the girls going on a trip to Savannah. Of course, this is all at Jackie's behest. I'm so sick and tired of all Jackie's lemon squeezes and just kumbaya parties and hold hands and break the circle. We did the same thing whatever year that was. I think that might have been the trip that Heavenly planned. Mariah had a bad foot. She had hurt her foot, and they was at the water's edge, and they was supposed to be, you know, throwing all they, you know, arts and stuff into the water and just coming to center and being the best woman and mother, you know, and person that they could be. They do this at Jackie's behest 2 or 3 times per season. At this point, it is becoming kind of cliche. First of all, most of the ladies go in having given a half-arse apology to one another for one thing or another, or they haven't talked or discussed it at all. So really, you trying to light a candle and have these types of come to Jackie moments, you doing it kind of backwards, kind of arse backwards, because the ladies haven't even talked. I know Mariah and Quad haven't even talked. Okay, you got Heavenly, who is perpetually hateful, dropping comments out there about Toya and her house on the bus ride. That was really the highlight of the bus ride. They was trying to celebrate Toya for having moved into her home, 9,000 square feet, and Heavenly gonna say, oh, whoopee, you know what I'm saying? She bought a house. Like, it's not that big of it is a huge accomplishment. It is a huge accomplishment. So I didn't understand, even if she has a legitimate reason for feeling that way. I just understand why it was so necessary right there in that moment for you to put Toya down. Which brings me to my next point, and that is, I think Mariah has a point. I feel like Dr. Heavenly's attitude towards Toya kind of proves it a little bit. I mean, Heavenly seems like she's a little pissed at Toya for being Mariah's friend. You know, so is it that she wants everybody to ice Mariah out like they did, like, second season? But we're going to talk about it. Anyway, so, yeah, I mean, it's so funny because you came out your mouth at Toya about it not being a big deal that she and her family had moved into their forever home. And then, sorry, you guys, you had absolutely nothing to say at all when Toya came back at you when you said your house almost paid for it, and Toya was like, yeah, because it wasn't worth $50,000. Oop. Yeah, you bark and someone else bites. Like, this is how it goes. You're not going to be the biggest, baddest bully just because you're the loudest Heavenly. Like, she's just not my favorite. Anyway, so they get to Savannah, and Jackie's decided who all was going to share a room, and pretty much she kept it to everybody who was copacetic with one another. Buffy with Simone, Toya with Mariah, and Quad, I think, and Heavenly got a room together. Jackie was with Contessa. So, you know, they all got, you know, to share a room. Some ladies shared a bed, you know. Buffy wasn't really going to be able to share a bed with anybody for obvious reasons, so her and Simone had their own bed. We're going to talk about Buffy, too. Anyway, so they get there. They're going to dress all in white, and they're going to go to dinner later on. Go to dinner, and that's when Jackie's having this candle ceremony, and she wants everybody to write down their girl code, that thing that is a deal breaker amongst friends. And all of the ladies write down various things. Mariah feels like there should be fact checking before you are running with a story, which is kind of oxymoronic, because if we had a fact checked her the moment that she did that little walk, ooh, which was epic, baby, epic. That's a really good meme when she did that walk across the floor. Would you like the receipts, darling? Oh, Heavenly, when she told Heavenly that she had receipts of her husband, you know her. Mm-hmm. We had a fact check you, that would have been shut down. And also, if we had a fact check you about Quad, that would have been shut down. But okay, these are the rules now going forward. Fact checking, not being in each other's business. Husbands and children are off limits. You know, if you got a problem with the husband, then you go to the wife. That's always been the rule. I don't know why Heavenly trying to act like she is traditional in every way, with the exception of that. Anyway, so everybody sort of does what they're told, just like they did, 2 episodes ago when Jackie was doing, what was that party called, where she had the pastor from a counselor from her church come and talk to the ladies and counsel with the ladies. It was that same thing, but then her and Mariah really didn't have any resolution. They didn't get that until the next episode. Just like with this one, the ladies say they agree, they understand, they go to get on the bus, and Mariah's kind of sourpuss. She kind of sourpuss because she does have a point. She does have a point. They rarely ever take up for her. Now, the thing about it is that Mariah doesn't come across as an individual who needs to be taken up for. But when she wants to be the center of attention, she takes this stance where she feels like no one is siding with her and it's not fair. And really the only person that's going to sit for it for any length of time is Aiden. So after they get back on the bus and she starts to try to articulate her feelings about how certain people say certain things and everybody just kind of runs with it and they don't really defend it when it comes to her. And it's kind of true. It's kind of true. But like I said, I don't think a lot of it is because they picking sides. I think, one, like I said, Mariah doesn't come across as the kind of person who needs defending. Two, you just don't know. You don't know. Her and Quad have fought to the point where it has gotten so vicious. To say Quad was sleeping with her brother-in-law and Quad to say she was on drugs. Well, when they got up from the table before they got on the bus, Quad and Toya stayed back, and Toya kind of tried to have a little talk with Quad about the fact that she went with Mariah when they did a 5 to 10 year or something drug test where they cut hair from the center of her head, the back of her head. I know some places will take hair from under your arms, that type of thing. So, they've got a way of looking at the hair. When you saw them taking the hair, you could tell that her hair had been natural, grown out natural. It still had some straight ends where it was straight, but that was just a real small portion. A good part of her hair was natural hair, and they cut the length of that section out. It was a good amount of hair that they cut out, and they didn't find any drugs. So it bears repeating, right? At the same time, you guys both have been so horrible to one another that people really just want to stay out of it. They don't want to get any of it on them. And instead of Mariah not putting a spotlight on the situation, again, what storyline is she going to have if she doesn't go after Quad? Like, this is going to be perpetually her storyline. Like, it doesn't get any more interesting than this. It was amusing at first because the girls can really, really read one another. But now we at this point where we're just like, again. Anyway, Heavenly jumps in and says she believes Quad. This is on the bus. She believes Quad. Well, no one is talking to you, Heaven. Like I said, she's so hateful. She just got a hateful way about it. You said all that stuff about my husband, which is true. It is true. But Quad and Mariah are never really going to be able to have a conversation without somebody else jumping in it. Quad don't need nobody defending her, and Mariah don't need nobody defending her. If y'all sit there and let them talk back and forth, you'll see. You'll see that thing will run its course. I promise you. I promise you. You lock them in a room with a camera and let them talk it through and let them be hateful, be ugly, and cry and scream and scrap with one another, and they gonna be fine. But other people jumping in it, it just distracts and just causes this commotion. And Toya jumps to tell Heavenly to mind her business. Heavenly is like, mind your business. I don't know what Toya said to her, but y'all know what Heavenly number one comeback is. Yo mama, yo mama, yo mama. It's some people out there that will just haul off and knock your head off for bringing their mama up. It's some people out there to this day who don't let stuff like that roll off their back. You can call them whatever you want to, but if you bring their mama up, they will windmill you. Okay? And they will call 2 other people to help windmill you. So it's just a matter of time before she meets somebody who ain't with that your mama stuff. And Toya, took it in stride. She was like, I wish my mama was here so you could say your mama, so she could beat your behind on this bus. She could whoop your behind herself, right? They go on inside. It just kind of continues because Heavenly continues it. And Mariah's defending herself. I did not mention you. I did not call you out. I did not shake your chain. I don't know why you're barking. She didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. You did say something to me. You did. No, you just wanted her to. You took over Quad's fight. That's Quad's fight and Quad's argument, and you took it over. It's just ridiculous. Let's talk about something a little bit more serious before we get off of here. And that is that Contessa quit school. And she told Scott last episode. And she was so aggressive, passive aggressive, I guess, about it. You know what I mean? She was like, oh, you win. Okay, so you win. This week you in Savannah. Like, you just came from being gone 3 days a week. And I mean, this is what it is. This is what it is. Pick a school that you can go to online or that you can go to in the city. In the state, maybe in Macon somewhere. I don't know, but you leaving your family is not working for a myriad of reasons. And it's not just Scott's fault, Contessa. It's not just Scott's fault. And I don't think that Scott always gets his way. From what we've seen, Scott has been very, very accommodating when you wanted to go and have the double mastectomy, with good reason. He stood by you, supported you the whole 9 with that, and you wanted not to work because you wanted to be with the kids, and now you want to go to school full time. And I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair for you to say I want, and Scott should accommodate me on all levels. Like, it's gonna have to be give and take, yin and yang. It's gonna have to be a balance, and that's just what it is. And Toya, which I was pleasantly surprised, as well as Jackie, gave her the advice about her being there, being angry, and she needed to take ownership instead of just being silently angry or passive aggressively angry about the situation. She needs to take ownership of what it is that she's contributing to the demise or the setbacks in her relationship with her children and with her husband. But that's Married to Medicine. You guys, tell me what you think. What did y'all think about that whole bus ride? Oh, it can get so ugly with these girls so fast. Like, I'm like, are y'all friends at all? Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, mwah, mwah,